guys, it's Aoife from Words of Clover, and I'm here to talk about a potential TBR list for November with non-fiction November. So I have a bunch of non-fiction books beside me and a couple of others on my Kindle from NetGalley and other places. I'm looking forward to reading, and I'm going to try and read some of these during non-fiction November. Now this is definitely a MBR, like a might be read. It's not like a concrete thing that these are the books that I'm going to read, but some of these books that I'm going to show, hopefully I will have at least 3 or 4 of them read by the end of the month. That is what the goal is going to be, and then I can kind of see what I'm in the mood for during the month as it progresses. So the first book I'm putting on my MBR, which is actually going to be probably one of my priorities, is Web of Lies by Ifa Gallagher. So this is a book from a girl I actually used to work with, and she is just looking at kind of conspiracy theories, the danger of conspiracy theories, and kind of just exploring how they start, how people can get sucked into them, and kind of some of the people behind these conspiracy theories as well. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. It's kind of like a buzzy book at the moment as well, as far as I've seen. And this also actually fits a few different reading prompts that I have joined on Storygraph, where it's like read a book from an author that shares the same name as you. And this is actually something that obviously is kind of hard for me. So having a book by an actual Aoife is very, very handy. So so another book I want to read is Hysterical, and this is a book that is exploring kind of gendered emotions and the stereotypes around different emotions. And I always love things that kind of have maybe a feminist or women focused theme, especially when it comes to nonfiction. Really looking forward to hopefully reading it this month. This was basically on my it was on my September TBR. It was also on my October TBR, so hopefully in November I will actually get around to it. Another book I have on my MBR, but this one, if I don't read this one in November, I'll probably save it then to read in March for the Irish Readathon, and that is Bessborough by Deirdre Finnerty. This is 3 Women, 3 Decades, 3 Stories of Courage, and this is all around stories and the kind of just the story around Bessborough Mother and Baby Home. And this is one of the mother and baby homes that was running in Ireland for a long time, where women who were ended up pregnant out of wedlock, how they were treated. They were kind of brought to Bessborough, pretty much locked up. Their babies were either taken from them when they were born, or these babies were treated really badly by the Catholic Church and kind of the overall population of Ireland as well. Some of these women's stories in this. I've previously read Republic of Shame by Keelan Hogan, which kind of is another book around this topic, but this is one that I really want to read. And Bessborough is kind of one of the more well-known mother and baby homes, I guess, in terms of some of the atrocities that have been revealed about what happened there. So this is one that I definitely want to read. I'm not 100% sure if I'll be reading that this month or if I'll be reading it in March. The book I might read if I feel like I just need something maybe a little bit lighter and nicer will be Dog Days, so A Year with Olive and Mabel by Andrew Cotter. So if anyone doesn't know Andrew Cotter, he is a sports commentator, but during COVID he kind of became really well known for in the absence of any live sporting events, he ended up kind of commentating the lives and the activities and the playing of his 2 dogs, his 2 Labradors, Olive and Mabel, and they kind of became social media superstars in that kind of way. And this book was gifted to me by Jade over at Boho Bookworm this year, and it's one that I've just been really looking forward to reading. It's definitely my kind of book, obviously with the dogs, and yeah, I love following Olive and Mabel on social media. So yeah, I think this is just gonna be a really, really nice book. So this is a definitely might be read for me. And this one, again, if I'm reading other things that maybe feel a little bit heavier, or maybe when I need a little bit of light relief, maybe coming up to the end of the month, this might be the perfect book for me. And another one that I have on my maybe list is The Covent Garden Ladies by Hallie Rubenfold. This is the same author who wrote The Five, the untold stories of the Jack the Ripper victims, and I read that last year and I really, really enjoyed it. And this is another story around kind of, again, female focused lives around a historical period, which from The Five I've kind of learned that Hallie Rubenfold is really, really good at doing. I'm really, really looking forward to this one. This is kind of looking at women who kind of were sex workers around the Georgian era, I think, and yeah, I think this is going to be really, really good, and I'm looking forward to reading it. And then another book that I kind of I think I'm going to prioritize this month is one I have on my Kindle from NetGalley, and it's called Walking Him Home, and it is a story about a husband and a wife, and I believe the husband is terminally ill, and it's actually about their journey with assisted suicide, and the wife kind of helping her husband on his journey with assisted suicide and ending his own life on his own terms, obviously because he's really, really ill. And this just story sounds like it's probably going to be really heartbreaking, but obviously really important as well, because I think this kind of assisted suicide, I think it's a real kind of like touchy subject, I think, in terms of who you're talking about it with. I think some people understand it, some people don't, and it's definitely one of those areas that, you know, I would actually like to read more of, because I do think it's a really, really interesting, it's a really interesting topic. It's a really interesting choice. It's a very brave choice from a lot of people as well. And yeah, I think I find it really interesting. So I'm looking forward to reading this, though I think I'm going to be prepared to possibly cry while I'm reading it. But yeah, I think it's going to be really, really good. Another book I have as well on my maybe list is Sex and Sexuality in Medieval England. This is another Kindle/NetGalley book that I have. And yeah, this is kind of basically what it says on the tin, which is Sex and Sexuality in Medieval England. And I think this is going to be pretty interesting to read. I have read a lot of like not like fiction. I've read a lot of fiction books set in medieval England. A lot of these fiction books are kind of, you know, not saucy, but like, you know, they have sex scenes, or they're focused around people's sex lives. King Henry VIII being one. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see maybe the real facts behind all of that. Would be really interesting. Yes, so that is my non-fiction November TBR. If you guys have read any of these books, if you guys are going to read any of these books, please let me know. If you guys have any plans for what you're going to be reading during November, especially non-fiction November, please let me know as well, as I would love to know. And thank you guys so much for watching as always. I'll see you guys next time.